Well, as you've likely heard, Boris said he's going to drop all bat flu restrictions in a couple of weeks. Me, I say I'll believe it when I see it, and I ain't happy until all laws are gone and a massive reform to the Public Health Act 1984 is finished. I say that because that's what's allowed them to force this insanity on us for the past couple of years and nothing more. Yes, the Rona Act 2020 played its part, but it's all underpinned by the Health Act 1984. Now, obviously, I support dropping all restrictions right now, never mind in 2 weeks, but after 98 weeks or 3 weeks to flatten the curve, you can call me a bit skeptical about anything these idiots say. But today, the articles and general rhetoric from the media is something I have to take issue with because it's a complete and utter load of bollocks. Yes, they're obviously promoting voices who say it's a bad idea because they always do that, but many seem to be promoting what I consider to be an outright lie that claims the UK is going to be the first country in the world to drop all bat flu restrictions. The BBC have said it, Telegraph, Sky News, The Sun and Daily Mail among others have all been running this and literally just talking a load of crap. They're all saying we will be the first country to drop them, which I have to say is once again bullshit based on the articles from some of these same outlets over the past couple of months. Here we have the BBC stating Denmark's COVID restrictions lifted despite an increase in cases. That one there was February the 1st, with it being announced something like 2 weeks prior to that. So no, we're not the first, are we? But it does just show how scummy the media are because this is being used as a way to attack Boris Johnson in their eyes. By saying he is first, they can say he's moving too fast and all of this, obviously ignoring the many places who either put in very limited restrictions around the world or the countries who had no restrictions at all for the past 2 years. Obviously, the BBC and snivelling shitweasels within the media won't tell you about them because it crushes their already dying narrative, as you know. Some countries had restrictions for literally just a couple of days in early 2020, while others had them for a couple of weeks or months before dropping them completely. Many countries did not go through multiple lockdowns like we did, but once again, the BBC and media ain't going to be telling you about that one, are they? They literally only cared about doom and gloom, which is actually so blatant now because almost every story they talk about these days is not bat flu related in any sense of the word. Compare that with just a month ago now for any proof you need on that one. So, as per usual, the media are talking shit about being the first and all of this. Boris ain't the first to do it, and like I said, I don't trust these scumbags in the slightest. It's not over until it can never happen again, if you ask me. Now, before I finish up, I just wanted to show you some of the deluded crap that these articles actually contain, because it's pretty funny. This bit here, though, is the ultimate piss take, I've gotta say. First up, we got Sajid Javid claiming we're the most free country in Europe, despite Denmark beating us to it, as we already know, and Sweden never locking down at all, let's remember. But I've got to say, the real gem here is the bit about Matt Headcock, you know, the tosspot who was the health secretary before. It states the former health secretary who helped steer the nation through the pandemic. You mean Matt Headcock, the slimy toad whose love of lockdowns and shit's literally destroyed people's lives and indeed cost them. Imagine even getting comments from him after all that he's done, let's be honest. Obviously, it's incredible shite, but so is the crap that he comes out with further down. He said it's been a tough and unprecedented 2 years for everyone. Yeah, it must have been hard work, bell feeding your taxpayer-funded aid to Pork Sword all that time. You have my deepest sympathy, wanker. He goes on, we must always remember those who have lost their lives. Yeah, we must remember the lives lost thanks to the policies you enacted. Got it there. I am delighted it now looks like we can leave the pandemic restrictions behind us. Britain got the big calls right. Massive early investment in vaccines, one of the biggest testing systems in the world, the amazing response from the NHS, discovering the main treatments to save lives and a balanced response to new variants. So there you hear, discovering the main treatments to save lives and biggest testing system in the world. I think he means ignoring treatments that would save lives and the most expensive and corrupt testing system in the world by far. Then of course we have the record-breaking backlogs thanks to the National Health Service becoming the National Bat Flu Service, as you know. Talk about spewing deranged levels of bullshit Labour would be proud of, or what? Now he finishes up here with, a year ago I was saying we need to learn to live with COVID like flu. Now at last that's becoming a reality. I'm pretty sure people have been saying that since 2020 tosspot and you called them dangerous if I remember right. And finally he said we have come through this unprecedented pandemic together. Ah, that we have been in this together horseshit you've heard so much. How I love hearing that one. Of course, it's utter bollocks because we've not been in anything together, as you know. These twats have not lost a penny since it started, and in fact have actually gained a lot, I would bet. The average person on the other hand has lost much over the course of these past 2 years, while the people pushing it sit pretty on salaried income. So to say we've been in this together is such bullshit, even for Hancock it's beyond laughable. We knew from the start we wasn't in this together at all. Now finally, we should point out that old Fish Lips in Scotland has come out saying restrictions up there could last for another 6 months. This does not surprise me given the way this complete clown has acted over the past 2 years, but it will have the added bonus of turning a lot of people against her who usually wouldn't pay attention to the crap she comes out with. It states here, Mr Johnson's decision piles pressure on Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland to name a date on which they will ditch legal curbs. Yet ministers in Scotland said yesterday that instead of ending restrictions they could extend the powers which are due to conclude on February 28 for another 6 months. Oh God, do I hope they extend their powers up there so more people turn against the utter cretins known as the SNP. Please do a Labour is all I ask, Fish Lips. Now, before I go, remember, just because they say they will drop this lunacy, it doesn't mean they will, and we need to make sure all remnants of the last 2 years are removed from the statute book because they often leave emergency laws in place that way. For now, though, thanks all for watching. The links are down below as always, and I'll see you in the next one, no doubt.